Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing another LEGO Star Wars review for you today. It's a very anticipated set. This is the ATTE Walker, trademark by LEGO Star Wars. This set is going to be coming out August 1st. It's going to be for 140 smackaroos, and it's going to come with 1,082 pieces, somewhere in that realm. This is a really anticipated set. This is probably my most anticipated set. I pretty much cried when I found out that it would be coming with Phase 2 Cody. After 20 years, almost, we finally got Phase 2 Cody. Let the world rejoice. World peace all around. Super excited about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump in this review, but I did just want to say thank you to LEGO and Land for sending this to us early. We really appreciate it. So let's check out this walker. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, obviously we'll talk about the minifigs a little bit later, but the thing I want to talk about is the walker itself. This walker is pretty massive. I really enjoyed the build on this one more than I did on previous walkers. I had the 2008 one, and I remember as a kid like having a hard time with it. It would always break. This is a pretty sturdy walker. I think I've even like shook it around pretty hard and nothing falls off. If I did that on my 2008 version, it would just be on the floor. Okay, so looking at this walker compared to some previous ones, I don't currently have the 2008 walker built right now. It's still in storage. And by storage, I mean it's gathering dust in the closet. But I do have my 2012, 2013, I always forget what year that is, ATTE. And you can see just kind of looking at it in the front, they look almost identical at first glance. You know, they got the cannons here. I bet you can't tell which one is which. This is the 2013 version, this is the 2022 version. They're roughly the same size. I'm actually surprised that it's the same size. On the box, it kind of looked like this one was going to be a little bit smaller, but no, yeah, sure enough, they're about the same size. That's incredible. I think for the price, that's a pretty good deal. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a deeper look into this thing. This thing is massive. I love it. It looks like a giant 6-leg turtle, which is great because I'm a leg man myself. It also has 6 or 7 turrets, which is also great because I'm also a turret man myself. So taking a look at it, it's got pretty much everything you expect the ATTE to have. It doesn't really have much different from the previous version, and that's okay because, you know, that was a pretty good set. And why fix something that ain't broke, right? You have the kind of standard way to pick up these walkers is they have this little like Technic pin here. There is a way you will be able to modify this to work with your Republic dropship. Stay tuned, I'm going to be doing that later in the video. The large projectile cannon is just as large as you'd expect it to be. It's got a very long barrel here, kind of almost cartoonishly long, but that is how long it kind of looks in the movies. And if you recall, during the Battle of Utapau, after Palpatine calls Cody, he's like, hey man, you should execute those Jedi. Cody orders this ATTE to shoot at Obi-Wan Kenobi, thus starting the Great Jedi Purge. Very sad. So a lot of things I want to kind of show about this set is just, the hull is actually pretty good. So that was always a problem I had with previous versions of ATTE, but these are pretty sturdy. I'll show you a little bit about how it looks on the inside. One of the issues I do have with it is kind of hard to lift this top flap enough to see inside, but that's kind of okay because you can kind of maneuver these panels a little bit and you can see in there. In this front one, for instance, you could actually pull this out and you could put 2 little minifigs on there. That way they're having like a little tea time or something. There's some thermal detonators off to the side, and there's a little crate here that you can kind of pick up with, it actually comes with binoculars, which is kind of interesting. White, I don't normally see white binoculars. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate how a minifigure can fit in here. So something super simple like that, and you can just take it on out and deploy them, and they could have a picnic out in the park. So similarly to the front, you can do the same thing on the back, but what's actually pretty cool about this, and it's different than the last version of the ATTE, is that in the previous version, the part here with the 2 dorsal turrets would actually flip up with it, but now it's a little bit of a connection, and it comes out like this. And I actually think this is more accurate to what the vehicle is supposed to do. So that's always fun. I like when they do that. So it is a little bit easier to get in the back here. And you can see there's 5 seats for sure. You can put Commander Cody in here so he could have his Skype calls with Captain Rex, and they can decide what movie they're going to go see. It's always funny seeing what the LEGO designers try to sneak in here. They always have to put in this little funny fire extinguisher. It's like in every set. It's kind of funny. And there's also a coffee mug. It's kind of just something you don't think about in Star Wars. But yeah, look at that. You can drink coffee while you're playing your ATTE. So one more thing I'll say about the room in the ATTE. That was a complaint I had seen a lot of people talk about the 2013 version because there wasn't enough room. So canonically, I had to bring out my Star Wars book to see this, but canonically, it should be able to hold upwards of 20 clones just as passengers, as well as 2 pilots, a gunner, and then 4 other turret gunners. So in total, that should be 27 clones. So later we're going to try to see if we can fit all 27 clones in here. And here I just want to show another example of how it locks up. So see, you bring that backside up, you lock it, and those little clips and hinges go together, and boom, it looks really nice, actually. It's really sturdy. This is probably the most sturdiest ATTE I've had. I don't have the 2016 Rebels version, Captain Rex's ATTE, but this one is pretty sweet. Last thing, kind of on the exterior, I want to show is the cockpit here. So you can actually take out the cockpit. This is not new. I'm pretty sure this is done on every single ATTE. And you know what? Something else fun that I learned is that if I were to pull the same cockpit from the 2013 one, it'll actually slide right in and you wouldn't even know the difference for all the dust on it. Something else to look at is the legs. The legs are done a little bit different on this one than the previous ones. All the pressure seemed to be on these front and back legs, and the middle leg just kind of swings freely for the most part. There's really no weight added to that middle leg. So kind of weird, but I mean, again, it doesn't matter. It kind of leaves more freedom, really, when you think about it. Kind of something to keep note of. It's a little bit different than the last version, as well as instead of the dish pieces with the prints, they just kind of went with these brick-built ones, which I think they look great. Those pieces weren't really around last time, so I'm glad they added them. And then it has these little gears in here. So the gears are what's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I don't really see those gears in the like official books showing the ATTE or in the movies, but I mean, I think it looks cool. I don't think it's accurate, but hey, what are you gonna do? As for stickers in this set, the stickers aren't too bad. I always have a hard time with the little circle stickers there, but I think I nailed them on both of these, as well as there's a few stickers here, and above the turret areas here and here. So it's really not that bad in terms of sticker placements. I think you can get them done pretty easy. And overall, I just think this is a really nice ATTE build. I would say, you know, I've only built 2 of them before this, but this is a really good one. I really like it, and my favorite part is really just how sturdy it is. Like, I can shake it up and nothing breaks. So just so it doesn't seem like I'm favoriting one side, here's the other side. They're pretty much identical, other than a little bit of the stickers are different, but it's a symmetrical looking vehicle, so you're not missing much on this side. Some little detail that I do like is right here in the front, they actually added like little lights, like headlights to it, so that's kind of cute. I kind of enjoy that. And so here we have the clone gunner that comes in this set and his gunner turret right here. You know, you gotta be a little careful. If you spin it too fast, he might come out. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, he's all good there. Attaboy. And then over here, I did go ahead and put one of the clones into the cockpit, which you can see, it's that easy to take out. He's there, flying around. Now, canonically, there should be a spotter behind him, but, you know, obviously it's Lego, and minifig scale is really hard to get stuff like that to work. So they only had room for one. Again, looks pretty cool. All right, guys, so now I know what you're asking. Hey, Ross, that set looks cool and all, but can it be picked up by the Republic Dropship? And I'm here to tell you, probably. Let's check it out. So just like the 2013 one, the handle's a little bit different for it to be compatible with the Republic Dropship, but all you need to do is just a simple modification. So let's go ahead and just take out the handle, and it'll come out the bottom here. And this is how the handle looks, something like this. So when it comes up, that piece there gets caught, and that's how it lifts. So all you really need to do is to take a long Technic piece like this. I believe this is about 14 studs, and you want to leave the first one, have a little hole in it, and then the second one, just a little bar. And then down here at the bottom, I was just being lazy and just got one pin, but all you have to do is throw that down in there and connect the pin back on the very bottom pinhole. And boom, now you're able to carry it like this. So this is how we used to do it back in 2008 and U2000 and late. All right, guys, so let's check it out, the moment of truth. So here is the Republic Dropship in all of its dusty glory. And what you first want to do now with your modified beam there, you want to just have that poking up, sticking out completely. Then you want to get your gunship, and you want to touch that little yellow piece there. And boom, you see how it got into that first piece? And there you go. Now you're ready to fly into battle. Isn't that cool? It still works. It's over 10 years old and it's still compatible. Gotta love it. And then you deploy it like that and vroom, you fly away. All right, guys, so I'm done playing around with this thing for now. And I want to talk to you guys about the figures. So don't just skip the video here, because the figures are really important for this set. There's a lot of good things, but there's also a lot of drawbacks to a lot of these figures. And I want to go over that with you, so stick around. Alright guys, so starting off with the figs, we're going to go with the most boring ones first. We got 3 B1 battle droids. So something interesting for me, you know, I've been collecting LEGO Star Wars since LEGO Star Wars was even a thing. So I have so many of these, so it's never really a big deal for me to get these, but I do know that a lot of the newer collectors don't have a lot of B1 battle droids. So I'm glad you're able to get them. It would be nice if they had some B2 battle droids, just because we haven't seen a B2 battle droid from LEGO in like 8 years, which is crazy. So we're stuck with some B1 battle droids. They haven't really improved anything about these guys in like almost 10 or 15 years. The only thing they really ever changed is they added this straight arm instead of having that curved arm for both sides. And I would really like for them to revisit it. Mostly, it would be great if they could walk. That's really all I want to see in a B1 battle droid, because right now they just kind of do that, and I always imagine they just like hop around. So second coming from the Separatist is going to be the Dwarf Spider droid, and this has been kind of a contentious part of the set. I've heard a lot of people say that this set is literally not buyable because of this. I don't know if I believe that, but it is a little bit weird that they have this in the scene, because as I recall in Revenge of the Sith, I don't think you ever see a Dwarf Spider droid. I did try to look at it. Maybe there's one in the background I missed, but I never saw a Dwarf Spider droid. And I think it's kind of a missed opportunity that they didn't use the little dwarf crab droid, because there's a funny scene in Revenge of the Sith where a clone trooper jumps on top of it and then just shoots at it. So it's really funny. So kind of weird we got this one. It's very similar to the one that you see in the 20th anniversary set at the Battle of Kashyyyk. I think it was the droid gunship. However, this one doesn't have the ugly little stud shooter on the front of it, so I guess it's a step up. Not the worst, but it's just kind of a weird choice. Maybe it's because it's larger and might kind of be fun to play against the ATTE with it. I don't know. But let's go ahead and take a look at the clones. Alright, so looking at the clones, you get 3 standard 212 troopers, as well as Phase 2 Commander Cody, and a clone gunner for the turret. This is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at Phase 2 Commander Cody. So right off the bat, looking at Phase 2 Commander Cody and just looking at the torso printing and the leg printing, it looks really nice. I think they did a great job sticking with the character. It looks awesome. He's got his little like weird jetpack looking thing on the back. They printed it on. I was kind of hoping they'd come with like a little piece to go on there, but I don't know how they would make something so small look that way, so I'm happy they went with the printing. And then what's obviously awesome about this is it comes with this new orange visor piece. In fact, it actually comes with 4 orange visors and 4 range finders, which is great because you can start putting these on the clones. The new clones come with a little hole right there where you can put in the visor or the range finder, and I'll show you on some of the other new ones. But what's even better is you can put this on your Phase 1 Commander Cody. What? Yeah, the Phase 1 Cody. Yeah, you heard me. Check that out. Finally, after all these years, my Phase 1 Commander Cody's been rocking the dark gray visor, but finally we have an orange one. And wow, they just look like a sight. Look at that. So adorable. Taking a look under the hood here, you see this is actually pretty cool. So this is a different face. This actually does look more like Cody than what you would see in the normal Clone Trooper faces that you started seeing in the 501st Battle Pack. So this is the standard face that you get with Clone Troopers these days. And then this is Cody. So he's kind of, you know, he's like Generation 1 Clone Trooper, so he's got some scars and stuff like this. But it really looks like him. It also kind of looks like Boba Fett, which I guess also makes sense. So really happy that they were able to do something like this. Again, if you're not really familiar with Phase 2 Cody and what it means in the LEGO space, they have not made a Phase 2 Commander Cody ever. And it's really exciting that we finally got him. It felt like we kind of had to like, you know, let LEGO know like, hey, where's our Phase 2 Cody? And it really should have come out in the General Grievous Starfighter set that came out in 2020. That's really where it belonged. But I am so happy we finally have it now. All my prayers have been answered, like yours, and we finally have our Phase 2 Cody. I'm still a little emotional about it, to be honest. Alright, let's take a look at another figure. Alright, so this is the standard 212th figure. This one comes with a little hole in the helmet right above the ear hole. Again, this is where you can put like the rangefinder and the visors on him. And he looks great. He looks really nice. They kind of updated the paint a little bit. They added that little gray in there, and it looks really nice. And I'm going to compare it with one of the older 212 figures. Here we go. So this is one of the older 212 figures from the 212th Battle Pack. And in some ways, I think the old one has some nicer traits to it. I really like the orange arms. I don't know which one's actually accurate. It's probably one of those things where the arms are white, but maybe the shoulders are orange. So LEGO just kind of picked a color. The visors look a little bit different, a little bit narrower on one than the other. But something that drew my eye is the fact that the triangle here on the top, if you see on the older version, the triangle makes its little tip right there before the visor. And for some reason on this new set, the triangle doesn't quite do that here. This appears to be a misprint, but from what I can tell, almost all of them have it. You can also see that here. So it's a little bit hard to tell, so bear with me, but if I look at the box, you can see the triangle comes to a tip, or at least very close to it here in the box art. But when I look at it over here, you see the triangle doesn't quite make it to the end. So what it appears to be is that the orange should come back a little bit further back here, and there should be a little triangle. So I don't know if they just didn't get the printing right. I don't know if this is going to be something they correct. I hope it is. We're certainly going to bring it up to the land if others don't. And maybe we'll get that corrected, because that would be nice. This is a really good set, and I would hate for that to be the thing that draws this one back a lot. Similar to what we saw earlier, you get your standard Clone Trooper head in there, which is kind of cool. And he's got pretty good printing on the legs. I'm pretty happy about that. And last but not least is the Clone Gunner, and he looks gorgeous. Similar to the other ones, he's got little holes in his heads there, so you can put different rangefinders and visors in. He's got a little strap there covering his armor, so it's kind of cool. He has like a little bit of additional armor, and I think he looks great. We have actually gotten a Clone Gunner for Phase 2 before in the 2017 fighter tank, so this is actually him. We kind of compare. They look a little bit different, obviously. This is more updated here on the right, but I think they did a great job. I'm pretty happy with it. Either or serves its purpose. Absolutely love it. And then again, we're going to get the standard clone face underneath it. And one last thing I wanted to point out, so that you actually get a bag that comes with 4 rangefinders and 4 visors. I already have one on my Phase 2 Cody and one on my Phase 1 Cody. Let's go ahead and show you how the rangefinder would look on one of these figures. Okay, so he's got a little rangefinder on there. And you can pull this down and he can look for his ranges or whatever, right? It's a rangefinder. That means he's trying to find the range, right? It looks kind of weird. It's kind of like higher than it should be. You would think it would be here at the ear piece instead of here at this little hole at the top. But again, that kind of makes sense for this case, as Commander Cody's visor would look weird if it was lower. I think I and a lot of other people were hoping for maybe just a specialty molded helmet for Phase 2 Commander Cody, but really this isn't bad. I'll take this. This looks a little funky. I'm probably not going to use the holes on these new clones, and I'm kind of not looking forward to having the holes on the new clones as much anymore, but there are some cases that apply. For the Ahsoka troopers, for instance, it would be great if that one had holes, so I could put this same orange visor on it and I could make a Captain Vaughn. And I did just want to kind of show off all of the 212 Phase 2 troopers that we've gotten over the years. This is going to be our newest one from 2022. This is from the Clone Pack. I actually don't remember what year this was. I want to say it was 2016. Sorry if I get that wrong. This is the original 212 Clone Trooper that came in one of the Embaran sets. And then this is the weird canon / not canon Geonosis Trooper. It's kind of weird that LEGO made this set. This was for a battle pack years and years ago. And you actually never really saw this in the Clone Wars or anything. You saw Phase 1 Troopers that kind of had this armor, but not Phase 2. And even then, it was a little bit weird. So kind of cool seeing all of the different renditions LEGO has done on the 212 as well. They haven't really done any Phase 1 versions other than our Phase 1 Commander Cody. Absolutely love these clones. They are the best. All right, so like I mentioned, I whipped out my Star Wars Complete Vehicles Guide, whipped it open to the ATTE page. And like I said before, the crew is supposed to be 1 pilot, 1 spotter, 4 gunners, a turret gunner, and up to 20 more clones. So let's go ahead and see if we can fit all 27 clones. And you must be wondering, do you even have 27 clones? I think I do. Let's take a look. All right, let's check this out. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'm going to try to put some sitting down every now and then, but at a certain point, I'm just going to start stacking them in here and see how much we can get. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6, 7, 8. There we go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we're going to go with 13 there for now. And now let's see how many we can get in the front. We're actually doing pretty well. I was surprised how many we can fit in here. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wow. Okay. 21, 22, 23. Oop. All right, I think we spilled it. I think 23 was the limit on this thing. All right, so 23 clones and it eventually broke open, and they didn't really look like they were sitting there comfortably. I'm actually impressed with how many clones you get in here. They don't look nice, obviously, just stacked in here this way, but it is nice to know that you can store your clones in here safely. All right, so this is the wrap up to the video here. I'm just going to say, so when you take into consideration all of the characters you get, what you get in terms of the building experience, plus the additional Separatist characters over here that we don't really care too much about, I would say for $140, this is pretty worth it. It's right there. I will say this set definitely has some drawbacks. I do have some criticisms. Most of it being with the printing error on the 212th Troopers. I think that's a real big letdown, and I'm really hoping that doesn't be the thing that defines this set, because other than that, it's such an amazing set. And just in general, I think this is a really good set. This is so far my favorite set of 2022. I will say this set is going to be super popular, and it's going to be really hard for you to find on day one. I would really consider staying up late and ordering it on day one. It will be a retail set, so it should be available at Walmart's and Target's and Amazon as well. However, if you can find somewhere to pre-order it, I would recommend doing this because this thing is going to be out of stock quick. Thanks for checking out this review of the ATTE Walker. I really enjoy this set, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I hope you are all able to get it at day one. Thank you again to Lego and Land for sending this to us early for review. May the force be with you.